Okay, let's talk about interior square footage violation. This rule falls under the Rules and Procedures Section 306.1. And what this says is that every listing must be substantially complete and accurate at the time it is submitted. What falls under this is the interior square footage of the property. So this rule is essential because essentially what it does, it protects data integrity across the MLS and supports reliability from both agents and consumers, right? If you think about a buyer's agent, they will probably have customers or clients who are searching for properties based off of interior square footage. We want to make sure that our listing is accurate. So one key requirement is the inclusion of the property's approximate square footage whenever that information is publicly available. And it may not always be publicly available. So let's take a closer look at the interior square footage requirements. If interior square footage is available through public records, and this would include tax assessments, county databases, or other official records, it must be included in the listing, obviously. If we have a new construction or a new build that may have some kind of upgrades that would increase the interior square footage, we may not be able to get that right on the nose, and that's okay. The square footage you enter must be reasonable, accurate, and not misleading. So estimates should be based on legitimate public information, not guesses, not inflated numbers. And if the square footage is missing or incorrect, the listing is considered incomplete or inaccurate, and therefore it is not compliant under Section 306.1. So let's take a look here at a few steps to correct this violation if we do find ourselves in violation of this rule. The first thing we obviously want to do is we want to check property records, public records, and we can start by checking the square footage that's currently entered into our listing. And we can cross-reference those. So we can identify anything missing or anything that doesn't align with other known data. We can verify those across the public record sources that we have access to, whether it's county assessor databases or tax documents. And we can make sure that the number we plan to enter into the Add Edit section reflects publicly available information. If we have to, we can go ahead and update the square footage in all the required fields. We also want to double check that there are no mandatory fields that are left incomplete. And then we can go ahead and save the changes, resubmit the listing, and we can take a look at that listing once it's submitted to make sure it is fully compliant. So here's a few additional points that we just want to keep in mind as we are entering in our listing into the Add Edit section. This rule is found in MLS Rules and Procedures Section 306.1. I encourage you to go take a look at that document. It is in the KB section. And what this says is that overall standards for listing, it just goes over the listing accuracy and completeness when you're entering a listing. If you need clarification, again, go ahead and take a look. It's a great section to start. And why does this matter? Well, interior square footage is essential for several reasons. It ensures proper search results and filtering, which we talked about. It helps establish accurate property valuations. Remember, let's not forget those appraisers, our appraiser friends. It supports meaningful comparisons with comparable properties. The next time you're doing a CMA, you want to make sure that the listing agent who you're using one of the properties as a CMA entered their listing in appropriately. So let's make sure we do the same. It promotes consumer transparency. They can trust the information that's entered into the MLS, and it reinforces professional credibility and trust in the marketplace. And let's just keep in mind, accuracy isn't just a rule, it's a responsibility that supports the entire MLS ecosystem.